Good morning, everyone. This is Chris on Around the ATL on an early Sunday morning. I've been up since about 3:30 ish. I called myself trying to do a Facebook Live, but I did it for an hour and then found out there was no volume. So I'm going to stop using Facebook Live once and for all. It's just a waste of time because sometimes the volume works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why, and I'm tired of trying to figure it out. So here's my story for this morning. I woke up. I actually went to bed early last night for a change, because I was pretty tired. FYI, I got to learn how to make some smothered pork chops. I've never done it before, but I had some yesterday at a gathering, and they were great. They were pretty heavy. So besides all the other stuff that I ate, it was a lot. Carrot souffle and cabbage and all kind of other stuff. Meatloaf was in there too. Some great green beans, and I'm trying to think of everything else I had. And this kale salad, which is one of the best salads I've ever had in my life. And I had apple pie and ice cream. So by the time I got home, I was pretty knocked out. So I fell asleep and I woke up. It was 3 o'clock. My phone was on the floor. I picked it up and I said, I'll go ahead and try to check some emails and maybe I can go back to sleep. Because usually, if I go to sleep early, I wake up early, which is why I try not to go to bed too early. So I'm checking emails and seeing if I got any sponsorships, which, by the way, sponsorships for my show Around the ATL on Sports Vision's 92.1 FM every Thursday night. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you go to the TuneIn app and you can find Sports Vision's 92.1 FM. And I was talking about my sponsorship, so I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Shout out to my sponsors, Southern Classic Transportation. If you're in Atlanta, especially, call them at 404-291-0150. They're one of the best car services in Atlanta. They take you anywhere you need to go, and they stay, and then they take you home. So wherever your destination is, they're not going to just drop you off and leave you there. They're waiting until you're done with your nice dinner or you have a business meeting or whatever. They're there to, throughout the whole trip. They're very professional. Make sure you visit southernclassiclimo.com. Make sure you let them know Around the ATL sent you. Also, a quick shout out to one of our newer sponsors. If I can switch all this around, America's Best Choice Windows, abcwin.com/Columbus, Georgia. If you have energy problems with your house, I mean, we've had some crazy weather, right? So a lot of people's power bills are fluctuating a lot. Sometimes it's because your windows and doors are a little bit loose, right? So make sure you hit them up. America's Best Choice Windows in Columbus, Georgia, specifically. There's the website, just abcwin.com/Columbus dash GA. That should get you there. Again, make sure you let them know that Around the ATL sent you. Also, last but not least, IMTM Worldwide Images. .com. If you need photos, you need business headshots for your team, you need acting headshots for yourself, you need modeling portfolio shots, you have family pictures you want to take, maternity pictures, maybe you're pregnant or you know somebody who is. Make sure you hit them up, imtmworldwideimages.com. I am trying to come to Atlanta this month. I have a big shoot in March, but I would like to do some shoots between now and then, especially in Atlanta. So if you know people who need photos, make sure you hit them up, imtmworldwideimages.com. That is the website. So all that being said, after I saw I didn't get any sponsorship packages in my email for the show on 92.1 FM Sports Visions, I saw something at the corner of my eye because I was about to put the phone back on the floor because it was charging. But I saw something that said Luka and had the words Lakers. And over the last couple of weeks, you have a lot of, articles giving you, potential trades and fake trades and all this kind of stuff. But this time, what caught my eye was the wording. So I put my phone back up and I started reading. I was like, wait a minute, this looks like it actually went down. And I'm reading and I'm reading and I'm looking at other articles and they're popping up left and right. Then I saw on Instagram how I saw videos of players reacting to the news and it looked sincere. It's like, wait, this could really. Then I saw Bleacher Report. I was like, whoa. Then I saw Twitter. And then I was like, it's about to go down. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep now. And so I walked back downstairs, got on the computer and started looking again. I was like, man, this really, really actually happened. And then I started seeing some of the comments that were pertaining to the Mavericks and stuff like, this was done in the dead of night. Luka didn't know nothing about it, basically. So he's caught off guard. He didn't ask for a trade, stuff like that. I saw things, and again, this is all reported or whatnot. Don't know what's true or not, but Luka is near 270 pounds post injury right now, so he's not in shape at all. And we're used to him being a little pudgy fudgy, but 270, that has to be pushing it right there, right? Then a comment from the GM basically saying, well, I believe defense wins championships, right? Because who did Luka get traded for? Anthony freaking Davis, right? So I'm like, whoa, that's a pretty big statement right there, don't you think? Right? So I'm looking at all of this and I'm like, but wait a minute though. Luka is supposed to be like the best thing since sliced bread and all this and everything. And he, did get the team to the Western Conference Finals last year and made it to the NBA Finals. But then again, when you look at it from another, perspective, Luka has been given a lot of tools over there over the years, hasn't he? Whether it be through trade, whether it be through draft, whether it be through free agency. He's had some players over on his side of the line. A lot more than the other guy in the Eastern Conference named Trae Young, right? I mean, they got Jalen Brunson. He turned out to be pretty good, and then they traded him away. They had the Latvian dirt there, Porzingis, for a minute. Somehow couldn't work that out. Then they went and got a Hall of Famer, Kyrie Irving, up in there. Then they traded for PJ Washington and Gafford, and that helped them get to the Western Conference Finals and inevitably to the finals. And then on top of that, they went and got another Hall of Famer in Klay Thompson. Hall of Famer. I said the words, right? He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. 4-time NBA championship player, right? Kyrie has ring, right? So they've had people who have rings have gotten around Luka. Has Trae Young ever had anybody along that caliber? Ever? Even close? No. But somehow Luka got traded first. Defense is being called into question. I just think that's a unique moment in history right there. For all said and done. Make sure y'all subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube page. I appreciate that. So what I decided to do is say, well, I got to get up. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick show because we have another 30-minute show coming on Sports Visions 92.1 FM. I just don't know if we can do a full 30 minutes of just Hawks, but we almost will be forced to. So what I'm thinking about doing a 2-hour show after the 30-minute show that we do. And hopefully we can work that out. But this morning I'm gonna do something just in case we can't do any of that. I want to have something on the record, right? So again, make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio page. You can also bear with me here. It's still early in the morning for me. You can also follow us on Twitter, Intellect ATL and Jordan 23. ATL, my co-host Jordan Jackson. You can also follow on Twitch, IMTN Worldwide Radio. So some people might be watching on Twitch right now. I appreciate that. So let's get into it. So for whatever reason, the Atlanta Hawks organization has refused to put players around Trae Young. Players that are better at certain things, whether it be defense, whether it be rebounding, whether it be hitting a shot from the outside or hitting a shot regularly, and when I say rebounding, I mean the fact that, Clint, unfortunately, has gone from 14 rebounds a game to barely 9. Okay. That's a fact. Clint Capella used to score 15 points a game. He is now at barely 9. That is a fact. Unfortunately, Bogey used to be money. He's not anymore. He was scoring 15 points a game plus last year. He's at barely 10 now. Okay. And then health comes into play as well with Bogey, unfortunately, right? So these things are facts. And we just refuse to either get long term solutions or backup solutions, even to shore up things depth wise. Although, again, this past off season, I believed that we did enough to mitigate some of those things, and it proved true. First half of the season, we saw it. When healthy, this was a team that was contending. This was a team that was in fifth in the East and beat everybody in the East. And then again, injuries hit and/or inconsistent play occurred again, right? And it's an issue still. Now, again, JJ being out for the year, that's a real big blow, but still, this team could still do some things if they made some changes immediately. And for whatever reason, it just don't seem like they are really eager to do it. They're just holding off and just kind of just shrugging shoulders and just be like, yeah, we'll be all right wasting another season of Trae Young. We'll be all right, and not just Trae Young, the other players on the team too that are still here from get go. Just a little bit of a tweak here and a tweak there, we could still be on a path. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems like it just don't matter while other teams around us make moves all the time, year after year. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but it's just confusing at a certain point. Don't you think? Why do I say all that? Well, here's the deal. And here are facts that people need to be reminded of. Now, if you missed the last episode that I did, I want you to go back and watch that one. Facts have to matter. Okay. And I'm gonna repeat some of those right now. All right. Trae Young currently in the NBA, since he's been in the NBA, 2018, Trae Young has never been less than sixth in the NBA in potential assists a game. What are potential assists? Okay. And by the way, the title of this show, I forgot to post it. My fault. Luka traded to the Lakers. There you go. A potential assist is someone passing the ball to a player and they miss the shot. It's wide open. Dunk, layup, wide open shot. Is my volume on? Yes, it is. And they miss it. Trae Young has never been less than sixth. Oh, okay. Wait, what's the date? I'm getting emails now. I guess I'm up. He's never been less than six. So just think about what I just said. Potential assist. Trae Young, last year and this year, first. Okay. He has a couple of years where he's either been third, second, or sixth. Those potential assist numbers, he would be averaging between 16 and 21 assists every game. And the difference is what? Not having a center that can hit a jump shot or finish at the rim? Not having enough players that can hit jump shots on a regular basis? Wide open threes? Wide open threes. If you watched episodes of Around the ATL earlier this season and the end of last year, you see that I showed started showing how many points we were leaving on the floor from shots generated from Trae Young, and we were leaving between 25 and 40 points on the board just this season. At the beginning of the season, it's one of the reasons why we lost those Wizards games. That Sacramento Kings game earlier in the season. We left 40 points on the floor just from passes from Trae. But let's get past that part, though. Trae Young is first in points per game in assists, 28 a game. He's first. So he's first in potential assists a game. And remember, he's averaging 11 assists a game now. 11 or 12 assists. He's leading the league in assists per game and total assists and potential assists. That's absurd. And most of it is missed dunks, missed layups, and wide open jumpers. Like he passes the ball, he's made it possible to have you wide open for a shot, and you miss it. That's crazy. He also leads the league again. Total assists, assists per game. By the way, Trae Young, active players in the NBA, he's first all time in NBA history, active players in assists per game. He is third NBA history all time in assists per game. There's only two players ahead of Trae Young in assists per game currently. In all of NBA history, he's played 7 seasons in the NBA. Well, 6.5 seasons in the NBA. He's third all time. But we're just supposed to be like, that doesn't mean anything. And we just refuse as a franchise to put some better players around him to really take advantage of this fact. Because he's doing this with the rosters he's had since 2018. That is the most monumental fact of all. He's doing this despite that. Trae Young is now third all time by himself in 30-point, 10 assist games. There's only two players ahead of him now, James Harden and LeBron James. Both have played twice as many seasons as Trae Young, and Trae Young only has those two guys ahead of him. 30-point, 10 assist game. That's kind of a big deal. Just a little bit, don't you think? Trae Young, by the end of this season, all-time assists, there's going to be some major Hall of Famers he's passing. I've done that show on Around the ATL in the past. Go and check that show out. You'll see some of those names. One of them is Michael Jordan. One of them is Kyrie Irving, believe it or not. He's going to pass Kyrie Irving in all-time assists by the end of this season. Kyrie is still active. Think about that. Think about what I just said. Kyrie Irving, the person they've given the keys to in Dallas now to go and win a championship. But anyway, that's pretty stupendous to say all those things, and they're actual facts. And the Hawks won't put better players around Trae Young like other teams have put better players around their best players year after year after year, decade after decade after decade, but just not here in Atlanta, though. You got the best passer in the NBA, leading in all of those things, leading, not 5th, not 10th, not 27th, but leading. Leading in 21 potential assists a game. Literally, he could be averaging 18 at least if we had a few more people to hit shots. But anyway, besides all of that, the points that we leave on the board is a problem, right? But the other thing that people always come back to, well, okay, well, Trae and his defense and Trae and his efficiency and stuff like that, right? Efficiency. So let's talk efficiency for a second. James Harden right now is shooting 39% from the floor, yet his team is winning. Why? Because he has better players around him. That mitigates that. And when has James Harden ever played defense, right? You know what they do? They put some good players around James Harden, so that is not much of a, it doesn't matter that much. Zubac is out there. The Claw is back. Look at what they've done since he's been back, right? I don't know how long he'll stay healthy, but they were winning without him being healthy, though, right? Because of the players that fit around him. Y'all were about to put LaMelo Ball in the All-Star game as the leading vote getter as a guard in the East, and he's shooting 41% from the floor. Is his team winning a championship anytime soon either? So why doesn't efficiency matter to LaMelo Ball or James Harden? Why doesn't their defense matter to them, to those players? Why doesn't it matter for those players, but just for Trae Young, who is not the worst defender on our team, and is not the one who gives up more points than anybody on our team game after game after game? Well, Chris, about the turnovers. Yes, the turnovers are always an issue for someone who passes the ball 64 times a game. It sure is. In his case, because other teams know, hey, We don't got to worry about a whole bunch of people, so we could play these passing lanes a little bit extra than other teams because those guys aren't really threats. We don't worry about that guy or this guy. We'll take the chance. Now, some of his turnovers are stupid. Some of them he just really is a really bad pass, right? He's doing too much. He's pressing a little bit, right? But some of them are bonehead. And yeah, 8 turnovers in a game is too much. Okay. 4 or 5, though, we're not losing. We've not lost any games because of 4 or 5 turnovers. That I've shown you. They're not scoring 30 points off of 5 turnovers. They're not. It's just not happening. I even showed you in the game I'm about to talk about, the game from last night. But even if they did score some points off his turnovers, his points production and his assist production overlapped that. Trae Young was responsible for 68 points last night. 68. And I didn't even count threes. I just counted 2, 17 assists, plus 34 points. 68. You see what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? Also, Trae is third in clutch points this season, also. So, besides the fact that he's leading in assists per game, leading in total assists, leading in potential assists each game at 21, he's a leader in clutch points on top of all that. That's crazy. And we just won't put no other players around Trae Young. I don't need a Hall of Famer. Can you get an all-star in there? Can you get a real good specialist in there or two, like all these other teams have done for other good players in the NBA, great players in the NBA, and we fitting all these players around? I mean, my God, you got Klay Thompson and Kyrie given to Luka. That happened. That really happened. They were on the roster together. LeBron got AD, right? LeBron was able to go and play with D Wade, and then they brought Bosh in. Like, for real. Like, these things really did happen for other players. But here in Atlanta, nah, we ain't going to give Dominique nobody. And we're just going to let him score 26 a game in the playoffs, and everybody else is going to score 10, and we're going to beat the Boston Celtics, Detroit Pistons, and the Chicago Bulls like that. Did that work? No. So Trae is averaging 29 and 10 in the playoffs. What is everybody else doing? I showed y'all I have episodes doing that too. Went all the way back to the 80s and came all the way up. Here's the roster from year to year. Here's who's actually on the team, guys. Foolery. But let's talk about this Pacers game real quick. Oh, by the way, I mentioned efficiency. We'll also talk defense. Again, Trae Young isn't giving up all the points every game. I've shown that in so many hours of game film. It's ridiculous. But again, what have I always said? If you give up some points, you got to produce on the other end. So either if you can't score, you got to stop somebody. If you can't stop nobody, you got to score. You got to be able to do one of the two, right? Trae does that a lot. Now, he does have some games where he plays really bad. He does, and like other players in the NBA. But we're still not losing games because of his defense. I've shown y'all that. I really showed y'all that, showing y'all the 28 games he didn't play in 2023 season. Because if the narrative is you're losing games because of defense, well, if he's not on the floor, why are you still losing games, and why can't you still stop nobody? I went through all 28 games. Here's the final score, and here's what the best players on the other team did against you. Why are they shooting and hitting 23 threes in this game? Why are they shooting 60% from three? What's the problem? Trae ain't there to stop, to mess it up, right? Teams aren't asking for switches on Trae Young every game, guys. You would almost have an argument if that was happening every game, every possession. Let's just get on Trae. Let's go at Trae. It's not happening, though. You would have an argument if he was actually giving up 35 points a game, but that's not happening. It's just not happening. It's not true. I've shown it to you. There's game film to show it. And I actually have a couple. I went on and did it, pulled a couple of shots from the fourth quarter just to reiterate that. Okay. Well, let's get into the game. So we lost this game 132 to 127. So let's just confirm the difference of the game here. Get the old trusty calculator out because I'm tired and I don't feel like messing up. So that's 5 points. 5 points. So we lost this game by 5 points, right? So what are some of the reasons we lost this game? By 5 points. We missed 7 free throws. Could that have been the contributing factor? Maybe. 5 points. There's a difference there. We gave up 64 points in the paint, 9 second chance points, 15 fast break points. We always give up fast break points for some reason because why? We don't stay attached. When we don't stay attached to our guy, we never stop the ball, right? Never stop the ball. And we just lackadaisically getting back on defense like it's la-di-dee, la-di-duh. We're not paying attention to who's on who. We're just getting back to say we were back. We're not trying to stay with no assignments. We're not trying to pick up man. We're not shouting out, hey, get my man. He got by me because I wasn't doing my job. 15 fast break points. That's the difference in your game right there. 9 second chance points. That's another difference. We lost by 5. 64 points in the paint. Who was guarding who? Who wasn't blocking out people? The Hawks only have 5 fast break points, by the way. So who scored what? So Zach had 17 and 5, 2 dimes. Barlow had 10 points in his first start. He also had 2 blocks. Congrue had 12 points, 11 boards, 3 dimes, and a steal. Dyson had 23 points, 4 dimes, and a steal, and a block. Trey, of course, had the 34 and 17 game. He also had 2 steals. Hunter had 4 points in the game. Think that mattered that he only had 4 points in the game? We really needed him to score his average off the bench? You don't think that mattered at all? It's Trey's fault. He had 34, 17, 2 steals. Hunter had 4 points, but people still want to try to blame Trae Young in a loss like this? We lost by 5? Now, Hunter did have 8 rebounds in this game. I always said, again, got to give us something else. If you ain't going to score, gave us 8 rebounds and a steal and a block in his 29 minutes. Wallace had 4 points, 2 dimes, and a steal. Nance had 4 points and 5 boards. Vitt had 5 points, but he didn't have no assists, steals, or blocks. No rebounds, nothing. Garrison had 14 points off the bench, 3 rebounds. By the way, here are Hunter's last 8 games. 16 points, but 1 of 8 from 3. 22 points, 4 of 7 from 3. 10 points, 0 of 9 from 3. 8 points, 2 of 8 from 3. 16 points, 1 of 7 from 3. 25 points, 1 of 7 from 3. 4 points. Last night's game, 1 of 5 from 3. And he's averaging 28 minutes a game in January thus far. Those are his last 8 games. So he has had games of 10, 8, and 4 intermixed with those other games. Just saying. Now, so let's talk defense. Who gave up what points? Because this is where it really kind of comes down to a game like this that we had no business losing. Who's responsible for it on defense now, right? So, Dyson gave up 16 points in this game. He gave up 4 threes in this game. We lost by 5. Trae Young gave up 8 points in this game. Is 16 points more than 8? I think it is. Barlow gave up 4 points. Before I finish this, points are attributed to a player in these sections. 1, is the player that you're defending even scoring? Are they shooting the ball at all? If they're not, you're not going to give up as many points as if they were, right? Sometimes it's a matter of the minutes that you played, right? So did you start? Are you coming off the bench? Who are you playing? Stuff like that. Switching. If you get picked off of someone and now you're guarding a completely new player, is that player going to score on you or not, right? Turnovers. If you turn the ball over and it's an automatic layup on the other side, those are your 2 points, right? So sometimes you give up points because of those things, and you can give up more or less because of some of those things. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Again, I'll start over. Dyson gave up 16 points in this game. He gave up 4 threes. That was pretty devastating. Trey gave up 8 points in this game. Barlow 4. Okongwu 15 points in this game. He gave up 1 3. Hunter gave up 18 points in this game. He gave up more points than everybody on the team in this game in his 29 minutes. So not only did he only give us, how many points did he score in this game again? 4. 1 of 5 from 3 in 29 minutes. He gave up 18 points in the same game. We lost by 5. Nance gave up 14 points in this game. He gave up 2 threes. Vic gave up 11 points. Garrison gave up 6. Zach gave up 6. Wallace gave up 4. So, that being said, somebody's saying video editor, edit stream. I can't do that. Can't talk about that right now. We'll get back to that. Where was I at? Oh, so are Dyson 16 more or less than Trey? Okongwu more or less than Trey, 15 points. 18 points from Hunter. Is that more or less than 8 points from Trey? You got to think about that. You have to think about that. Because if it's a matter of, well, if Trey is the reason you can't play defense, why are these players giving up more points than Trey Young? Because 95% of this is one-on-one stuff here. It's not Trey's man getting switched off and Trey's man scoring on someone. It's not that. And guess what? That's another thing. I've never even really said it like that. If Trey gets switched off on someone and Trey's man, why is it not possible to stop whoever that guy is? Why? Like, think about that. But that's a whole nother story. I'll do that another episode. Okay. Now, again, a lot of the points that were scored was also because people just left their man. When you just leave your guy, and it's really for no reason, and you don't call it out. Like, we don't communicate on defense. Haven't I said that so many times on Around the ATL? We don't talk on defense. We don't know how to switch. We do not rotate. We won't pick up man. We won't do it. We won't contest enough shots. We won't get back on defense. And if we do, we're not stopping the ball. You see what I'm saying? So those things, again, if you can't do it on the floor, you need an adjustment from the bench, and we never get it. And it continues to happen. We don't know how to play zone defense. We had a moment where we played zone defense. It's horrible to hear the commentators from the other team say stuff when you know what's about to happen. It's not cool. So, should I go ahead and play this now? I'll go ahead and play this now. So, before I get to the points that were left on the floor and some other things, I'm going to show y'all some clips. Because again, there's things that happened in that fourth quarter that were preventable, and we didn't prevent them. Okay? And I'm going to show you a bucket that Trey gave up as well in this flurry of shots in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, Trey Young didn't give up. First of all, Trey Young scored 13 points and had 3 assists in the fourth quarter. Remember, he's third in the NBA in clutch points. He's first in assists per game, first in total assists, first in potential assists per game, and third in clutch points. And he passes the ball 64 times a game, which is 4th in the NBA. But everything is Trey's fault still. But let me show you some shots in the fourth quarter. Let's see if I can start. I guess I'll go bottom to the top. So these are not in any particular order, but I want you to look at what the score was and the time was in the fourth quarter on all of these shots. I'm going to just go through them in any particular order.
That is the 4th team foul against Atlanta. So the Pacers in the penalty the rest of the way.
Now, was that on Trey Young? No, it wasn't. Let's look at another one.
Bryant dunks it.
Why did Bryant get a wide open dunk? Interesting.
They've come to play since. Here on the baseline, Turner.
Watch it. They got length.
And Siakam gets it to crawl in.
Yeah, they got length.
Did you see him get blocked out by the guys that were there in the paint with him? Oh, you didn't.
It's one of those games, Glenn, the longer you let them hang around, the more dangerous they become.
I think they believe they can win this game. I think that's part of the challenge. The other part of it is what we started out with.
Dyson actually left his man, which meant Trey had to pick up at that point because he was wide open. Trey did give up the basket, but that was because Dyson just left his guy. There was no reason for him to do that. And that happened all night last night, by the way. That's why you had a lot of points that Dyson gave up because he was just leaving his man wide open. He gave up 4 threes, Dyson did, 16 points. But Trey Trey could have stopped him, I guess, at the end of the day. That's 2 points in the fourth quarter. But those are the only points that Trey gave up in the fourth quarter. He only gave up 8 the whole game.
Now you go to work. Let your all-star go to work. He sees it.
And now Nesmith in the corner for 3. And the Pacers lead by 6.
We haven't been double teaming anybody all game long, and all of a sudden Hunter comes all the way around to not really stop anybody on the double and left his man wide open. Of course, since we're not a rotating team, no one called it out. No one says anything. Hunter leaves his man wide open for a 3, which of course he hits because they always hit those shots against us.
Nembhard. Right back.
We got the right matchup.
Turner.
They just missed it.
And now Siakam has not made a 3 until now.
They had the right matchup. He was there, and that's the patience of Siakam.
Until now. Heard him. It happens all the time. So that's just an example that negated the 13 points that Trey scored. Look at all those short shots right there in the fourth quarter that were hit. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, okay. I played them all. So I just wanted to show you all that. That's the tape. That happened in the game. That really happened. Okay. And there's more, but that was all I had time to pull. But again, what have I said? If you do give up points, you got to do something on the other side. Hunter didn't do that tonight. He gave up 18 points and scored 4. You can't win a game like that. You can't. We don't. You see what I'm saying? Even though Trey had 68 points combined last night, points and assists, we still lost a game by 5 points. And it's just simply because we just don't have enough, whether it be the starting lineup and or off the bench. Again, their bench, the Pacers bench last night, this is what they did compared to ours. Let me go back real quick. Where are we at? Box score. So that's all periods. Here we go. So their bench, they had Nesmith with 13 and Obi with 18. Obi topping by himself again, guys. 8 of 11 from the floor. Had 9 rebounds. In 15 minutes, he had 18 points. So between him and Nesmith, 18 and 13, and then Shepard had 6, and Thomas Bryant had 5. Our bench, 4, 4, 4, 5, and 14. It's not enough. Again, usage-wise, it almost would be enough if Hunter just got his regular average. We win the game if Hunter gets his regular average. We did everything we needed to do to win this game. Zach was 6 for 11. Dominic in his first start was 5 of 9. Okongwu was 6 of 7 from the field. Dyson was 8 of 15. Trey had 34 and 17. We did enough to win this game, but our best bench player in Hunter went 1 of 5 from the floor. 0 of 3 from 3 at 4 points. That's not enough. Our success is based off of those little things there, right? We needed him to do more, and we didn't get it. 29 minutes. He played 29 minutes, 29 seconds in the game. And that's all we got. On the floor last night. By the way, again, the Pacers scored 4 points off of Trey's 5 turnovers. So there's that fact. The people who are asking about it. So first quarter, we left 8. We left 8 points on the board in the first quarter from 3 passes from Trey, 2 wide open threes, and a layup attempt by O. So we lost the game in the first quarter. 8 points, right? Second quarter, wide open 3 by Hunter. Trey created another shot. Hunter missed a 3. Third quarter, we left 4 points on the board. A shot by Barlow at the rim, shot by Dyson at the rim. And in the fourth quarter, 2 more threes. 1 wide open 3 from Vitt and another wide open 3 from Hunter. Missed. 6 points. We hit those 2 threes in the fourth quarter, we win the game. By 1, but we still win. We lost by 5. That's 8 passes, 21 points left on the floor from passes from Trae Young. He had 17 assists. He should have had 25. You see what I'm saying? That right there is unnerving. That the Hawks organization just says, nah, we're not gonna go get one of the we don't even need a premier big. We just need somebody who can hit a 10-foot jumper now and then, an elbow jumper from the free throw line. Why can't we have that? Why can't we have a pick and pop? We can do pick and roll, but we can't even finish pick and rolls, which means we can't do pick and pop. We should be able to do that. Because Trae Young is passing the ball to you. And then all the wide open threes that we missed. We missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open threes. That's 15 points right there on threes that we missed last night. The Raptors game a couple of games ago, we left 35 points on the board, 21 points in the fourth quarter. 21 points in the fourth quarter we left on the board. Passes from Trae Young. He keeps passing it, and nobody's hitting shots. He keeps passing it. Again, does he stop passing the ball 64 times a game and just says, I need to shoot like LaMelo Ball now? Trae Young only has 13 games all season where he's had 20 shots or more. 13 games. He's passing the ball more than he's ever had before, which is crazy to say that. The fact that he's a 25-10 player career. There are no point guards that are 25-10 career. Trae is, with the rosters that he's been given each year. What if we had Klay Thompson on our team? I'm just saying. Hall of Famer. And again, Trae Young is third in clutch points. He had 13 points in the fourth quarter, plus 3 more assists. In that fourth quarter, we just had Zach with 11, Dyson with 4, and O with 4. That's all we scored in the fourth quarter. We scored 32 points in the fourth quarter. That was it. That was game. Yeah. 5-point loss. We missed 7 free throws. Hunter gave up 18. Dyson gave up, 16. Okongwu gave up 15, but Trae gave up 8, but it's Trae's fault, though. Trae gave up less points than anybody else on the team as a starter, okay, per the minutes he played. How many minutes did Trae play? Let's see. Trae played 36 minutes. He gave up 8 points. Hunter gave up 18 points in 29 minutes, but Trae's the worst defender on the team? Y'all really want to keep going with that? Because I can go game for game. What's that song? Going band from band, right? I can go game for game and show you how many times Trae Young is never the player that gives up the most points in the game. Never. Almost never. That Pacers game at the end of 2023 season, he gave up 20 points, but everybody gave up 20 points in that game because the team gave up 157 points total. And he still didn't give up more points than anybody else. I believe in that game it was Bruno and Muhammad Gay. Because Clint didn't play that game for some reason. I forget why, but it is what it is. But I showed y'all the games at the end of last season where he didn't play, and then when he came back, we lost 7 games in a row. right? After the last win of the 2023 season, which was the Detroit Pistons, where we gave up 50 points to Malachi Flynn. Trey didn't play, and still nobody explains to me how Malachi Flynn, who was averaging 4 points a game, had 50 in Atlanta. We had to hold on to win that game. Had to hold on to win that game against Malachi Flynn. Nobody else was hurting us. Two other Detroit Pistons had 11 each. I think it was Jaden Ivey and Duran. But after that game, we lost against the Denver Nuggets. We gave up 23 threes to them. We lost to Dallas. We gave up 18 threes to them. Luka had 6 of them. Who was guarding Luka? Trey wasn't playing. We gave up 18 threes again to the Miami Heat. We lost to them in double overtime. Trey didn't play. We win 2 of those 3 games. The Hawks have home court in the play-in. But we didn't win 2 of 3 of those games. So then we subsequently lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves. No, actually, we lost to Charlotte first. Charlotte was his first game back. He didn't play the fourth quarter. We lost that game by 1 point. Trey didn't play the fourth quarter, though. When Trey left, we had a 92-77 lead. And people still want to try to blame Trae Young, but he was on the minutes restriction. They had the lead when he left. He had 11 assists in that game when he left. First game back from injury. We lost that game by 1. Then we played Minnesota, lost to them by 3. Rudy Gobert went 10 for 10 from the floor, had 25 points. And I'm supposed to be, oh, well, Trey's fault. Trey don't play Rudy Gobert. Who let Rudy Gobert hit 10 shots and not miss a shot? Who was guarding Anthony Edwards at the end of the game? Was it Trae Young? No. Go check. I showed that to y'all on Around the ATL. Then we went and lost to Pacers. We got blown out by them, right? Is that 7 games? I'm missing a team somewhere in there, I think. And then, of course, the Chicago play-in game where Kobe White scored 42 points, not on Trae Young. Vucevic scored 24 points, not on Trae Young. And DeRozan scored 22 points, not on Trae Young. Trae Young didn't give up more points than anybody in that game. I showed you who, and people still don't want to acknowledge it or anything. You shrug your shoulders. And then Hunter in that game had 8 points. Had 8 and 2 rebounds. But Trey is blaming that game. And I showed people this, and they're like, it does matter. Because there's fact and then there's fiction. There's fact and then there's a lie. And the fact is, if we could ever get a center that could actually be a threat on offense, and we can get a backup point guard that could be a threat on offense and then also pass the ball a little bit as well as being a ball handler, our total trajectory of this team would be different. But since we don't, here we are again. Losing games we have no business losing to. The teams we have no business losing to. Matters not if we're full strength or not. We still have enough talent to win these games, and we're not. Despite what Trey is able to do every night. But Luka got traded first, though. Luka got traded first, though. Not Trey. Luka is almost 270 pounds. Trey never had no issues with health as far as his weight and being disciplined and stuff like that. Has he? No. Interesting that the GM of the Dallas Mavericks says, man, I think defense wins championships. We just need to get better on defense. We scored enough points. We could do this if we had someone that could clamp down, And they went and got Anthony Davis. We don't feel that Luka could take us to the promised land. That's what that trade says. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. That's what that says to me. What about y'all? I don't know. But I just showed you what Trey is doing game after game, season after season. He is first active players in assists per game. You can't diminish that. You can't just take that away and be like, it don't mean nothing, because if it doesn't mean nothing, then Steve Nash doesn't mean nothing, and Stockton doesn't mean nothing. He didn't win a championship. And Jason Kidd, it doesn't mean anything for any point guard. Well, he don't shoot that well. Allen Iverson won an MVP shooting 41% from his field as he scored 31 points a game. Do you not realize that Trae Young would average 35 points a game if all he did was shoot the ball and get to the line every night? Remember, he shoots like 90% from the free throw line. If instead of passing the ball 64 times a game, which is fourth in the NBA, and all of a sudden he only passed it 30 times a game, Trae Young could literally score 40 points a game. Because there would be nothing stopping him. I ain't passing it to you. What? I'm taking this shot. I'm taking this shot too. I'm taking the shot after that, and the shot after that, and the shot after that, right? I'm not going to keep passing it to these guys who are wide open and missing shots. Remember, we left 20, let's see, where is it at? We left 21 points on the floor last night on 8 passes from Trae. 5 threes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threes. That's 15 points. Trae needs to take those shots, right? Why? We lost by 5. Think about that. We lost by 5 points. 5 threes we missed. 1, 2, 3 layups missed, and we lose a game because of that. How does that sit well with any of y'all out there in the NBA land? That doesn't make no sense. This is game after game. This is every game this is happening. Remember, Trae Young leads the NBA in 21 potential assists a game, and he's leading the league with 11. That tells you something right there. We need people who can hit shots, and we don't got them. We simply don't have them. Trae Young has never been less than 6th in the NBA in that category, potential assists. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. I'm telling y'all, go look at it for yourself and see the names that are there with him in potential assists a game. We need to make some moves to try to win a championship because we really do have enough talent to compete. JJ being gone hurts, but we can mitigate his 20 points being gone by getting a center that can get you 20 points a game. That'll take care of that. Then we still have to rely on Hunter doing his job and getting 20 points a game. But if we could do that, we can win again. Then all you need is a backup point guard. Let's go get Malcolm Brogdon. Hey, look, if we can't get Vucevic, go get John Collins and Sexton from Utah. Right? John can play the 4, keep Okongwu at the 5, and Collins can come off the bench. That mitigates a whole lot of stuff right there. John and O play very well together. And John's one of the best finishers in the NBA, and he can hit the 3. He's averaging 18, 19 a game this season. Again, to reiterate, John Collins is the only Atlanta Hawk drafted other than Trae Young to have a 19 points a game season and a 21 points a game season back to back. The only other. He had one bad shooting year. He still has a higher career average than anybody on our team except for Trae Young. Think about that. So bring John Collins back and bring Sexton in here. If you can't get Vucevic or you can't get John Collins, shoot, get Ayton. Ayton has 2 18-10 seasons in his career. His career is 16-10. He can hit all the shots. Playing with Trae Young, he probably averaged 20 here. He dropped 33 on us last year. 10 to 15 shooting. If you can't get Ayton, I mean, there's not too many others I would really want in here. That would be a threat. Unless you can get Sabonis somehow. Slide Sabonis up in here. Let him get 20 and 13 each night, plus 6 assists. Shoots 42% from 3. I don't even need him to shoot threes. I just need you to get all them rebounds and score every time you get the ball, because he kills us every time we play him, don't he? Right? We just need somebody to go up against the other guys to even that out. 9 points a game is not evening it out 42, like Wemby did. the other day or the other month. 42, 10 points, 42, 10 points, 42, 10 points. Come on, what are we talking about? Zubac at 18. Zubac, what did he do against us? What did Anthony Davis do against us? What do everybody always do against us? Miles Turner didn't have a tremendous game necessarily, but those 2 threes that he hit hurt us though, didn't they? Didn't they? That step back jumper that he hit on Okongwu hurt us in that fourth quarter, didn't it? Yeah, it sure did. Why can't we have more? Why can't we have better? Because all these other teams keep continuing to do it. I did a whole show about the center position a couple months ago, and I said, here are all the centers in the Eastern Conference. Here are all the centers in the Western Conference. How many of these do Clint beat out? Claxton? I mean, even Charlotte has a center now that's really good. That's like killing it out there. How does Charlotte come up with one? The Heat has Ware now. He's doing good things over there, right? But we're just not ever going to have a 7-footer here that actually has size and skill. Again, as a reminder, since 1996, the Hawks have drafted 3 7-footers. Chris Lauderdale, Keith Benson, and Eddie Tavares. That's the list. Since 1996. How many years is that? Let's do the math. 29 seasons. 29 seasons? And the only 7-footer of note for the Atlanta Hawks has been Mutombo, Defensive Player of the Year, right? Yeah, not a scorer, but he stopped all the shots, though, didn't he? Again, if you can't score, you need to stop stuff. That's what Mutombo was really good at, right? Rest in peace. The only center we've ever had as an Atlanta Hawk to score 20 points in a season was Moses Malone, 80s. Al Horford had one season scoring 18. And then that's it. We've not had a center to ever score more than 18 points in a season since Al Horford. When was the last time Al Horford played for the Hawks? Yet, think about all the centers we've had to go up against game after game after game that made a difference on their team, and we didn't have nobody to make a difference on our team to go against that. It's messed up, y'all. And no, not that one position wouldn't necessarily lock you in or whatever, but it sure would help you win a lot more games. It sure would help you stay out of the play-in, wouldn't it? It sure would help you in a playoff situation where, again, where teams want to trap Trey. It's harder to trap Trey if you had a big that could score, that was a threat. It's hard. It's hard playing 4-on-5 on offense, guys. Man, don't pay attention to him. It's just like again, my Sunday night basketball videos when I play. If the other team knows that you got a player on your team that ain't going to shoot, they're going to always double the other player that can be the threat because they don't have to worry about him. I almost all the time get doubled as soon as I look like I'm trying to post. They're trying to shade me up front and they're trying to shade me in the back before I even get position. Then when I get position, they're scanning me. They're not worried about that one particular player because they're trying to make sure I don't get the ball because either Chris is going to try to score or Chris is going to try to get somebody a wide open jumper that's going to hurt us because I'm a passer. I'm really good out the paint. But they're trying to get the ball away from me. They ain't worried about that person over there. They'll take their chances. You see what I'm saying? But once you if you got a team of shooters, now you can't do that. Because if you come and double me, I'm getting the ball out to one of my guys who then slid over to the side corner pocket for a 3, or they've cut to the basket. They've beat their man. I'm giving them a layup. And we don't have no element of that on our team. Because if we did, you know what? Trae Young would have 21 assists a game. Because he's going to pass it to you. Or if we just had someone who could finish at the basket all the time. The missed layups, guys, are hurting us every game. We lost this game by 5 points. 5. And we left 21 points on the board from missed layups and wide open threes. There's games where we leave between 25 and 40 points on the board sometimes, guys, from shots generated from Trae Young that are misses. Wide open dunks, layups, wide open twos, and wide open threes. And eventually, if we fix that, we will win more. We would have a capability of winning more games if we just did that. And for whatever reason, we won't do it. Meanwhile, other teams say, man, we're going to trade Luka. Man, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So Luka, again, is traded to the Lakers. Now, when Luka does come back, again, I don't know what's going to happen with Bron, how many more years he's going to play. Does this make him want to play a couple of more years for sure? Or does it be like, man, you just got rid of like the best player on our team other than me? And the best defensive player at that. So again, I don't know where the motivation is going to come in at for Bron to play, but I don't know if this is it. You know, because now they're really forced to have to replace Anthony Davis now, and they don't got no way to really do that, do they? They don't have no assets at all, right? Now, of course, they got the money, but at a certain point, the money runs out too. But who are they? I don't know who all they're playing over there other than Braun. But Davis being gone, they're not paying Davis, but they got to pay Luca, of course. I don't know how those contracts work right now, but they got to replace Anthony Davis for them to really do anything until Luca comes back. So what are they going to do? You know, what can they do? I don't think they can do anything, right? So that's going to be interesting how the rest of that season, the Western Conference, is going to pan out. But Anthony Davis on the Dallas Mavericks with Gafford, PJ, right? Lively will come back eventually, I guess, too. You got Kyrie, you got Klay Thompson. That's a dangerous team all of a sudden. That's a team that can beat any team as long as Anthony Davis stays healthy, right? But meanwhile, on the Atlanta Hawks side of things, we're just going to be, oh, yeah, we'll just run up and down the court and we'll just kind of fiddle faddle and no biggie. The Atlanta Hawks need to compete. We need a playoff run again. We need a chance to get in there. You got the best passer in the game being wasted again. He's not giving you 4 assists a game, 5 assists a game. He's giving you league leading numbers in assists, all time numbers in assists in his young career. He's pacing to end up 5th at least all time in assists, probably more, and possibly 10th in scoring all time. That's what he's pacing right now. If he plays another 8 seasons like this, that's where he will be. In a couple of seasons, in a few more seasons, he's going to pass Dominique as an all-time Hawks leading scorer too, by the way. Think about that, as crazy as that sounds. And we're just not going to ever get him any help here. What's the excuse? Because all the other teams, again, the New York Knicks, since 2020, they have a completely new squad. They got knocked out the playoffs by the Atlanta Hawks, who were not supposed to be the better team. And since 2020, has completely changed their whole dynamic. You see what I'm saying? So, and then if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, who we got beat by in that Eastern Conference Finals, right? You see what Boston has done since 2018. You see what Orlando Magic have done since 2018. You see all these teams are above us now. They're not supposed to be. Because we just kept, all the way. here's my table right here. Just went all the way down as far as surrounding your player with talent. And again, this offseason, they did do some things to mitigate some of that over the last 2 seasons, getting Dyson Daniels. Oh, nobody can play defense with Trey. Dyson Daniels is really good, isn't he? Right? And we made some other moves here and there. Again, I like Larry Nance Jr. He's hurt right now, but he's been playing well for us as a team, right? Team player and a veteran, right? But unfortunately, like I said, other things just, I mean, Bogey's just not producing. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Um, Hunter, like I said, was pacing to be sixth man of the year. Maybe not so much right now, but he's still doing better than he's ever had in his career up till now. But again, a game like this really hurt. And again, it goes back to the inconsistency. Again, here are his last 8 games: 16, 22, 10, 8, 35, 16, 25, and 4. But from 3, 1 of 8, 4 of 7, 0 of 9, 2 of 8, 4 of 8, 1 of 7, 1 of 7, 1 of 5. That's not consistent. That's not consistent at all, is it? So we kind of need him to be consistent to have a chance. Because if it's just Trey now, no JJ, you're not going to get a center. The very least, we need Hunter to drop 25 a night at least to have a shot. Garrison had 14 a night, but you can't count on Garrison every night either, can you? No. Zach, if we could get a sure 17 out of Zach each night, that would mitigate things a little bit. Our whole starting lineup did have double digits last night, so that's a little bit of a start in progressive way, but we still need more. Because if that's the starting lineup, we need somebody from the bench to step up. You see what I'm saying? Now, Muhammad Gay didn't play last night. He was in College Park or whatever. Barlow was starting. So again, somebody else, whether it be Nance or Hunter, we needed them. We needed them last night. We didn't get it. We didn't get it. We didn't give it. And again, on defense, Vic gave up 11 points in his few minutes. Nance gave up 14. Dyson gave up 16. Hunter gave up 18 points. That's a lot. If any of them had a little bit better defensive game, we win the game anyway. 1 or 2 points, but we still win. We needed that win. We really needed that win because the other thing is we lost another game in the Eastern Conference. Let's see what the standings are now. Because here's the real dangerous part of the season now, right before the All-Star break. We're in 9th in the East at 22 and 27 now with this losing streak. We've lost 8 in a row. We used to be like 15 and 7 in the conference. Now we're 15 and 13. We had the second or third best conference record for a period of time, y'all. Now we're 15 and 13 in the conference. We're 4 and 2 in the division. Okay. By the way, technically, we still got a shot to win the division this year, which is crazy to me. But we're 2 and 8 in our last 10, though. You see what I'm saying? We're 11-15 on the road, 11 and 11 at home. So at least we're 500 at home, I guess. But now we're 17 and a half games back. But look, we're 1 game in back of Orlando. We're 3 games in back of the Pistons in the loss column. We're 4 games in back of Miami, who's currently in 6th place. So again, season is not over, but we can't keep losing these games. And we're 7 games from 5th from the Bucks, and the Pacers are tied. So we're 7 games away. So this game hurt because that gives them another game on us, right? So again, I still say we can finish in 6, but we got to make a move now to do it. Since JJ is hurt, we got to make a move. We can't do it as is. We just can't, okay? And I still say we could be as high as 4th. Like this could be a real fluctuate. Indiana has won 3 in a row to get to 4th, but Milwaukee has lost 2 in a row. Orlando has lost 3 in a row, and Detroit and the Miami Heat have just won recently, but they have been losing too. Like Miami is 4 and 6 in their last 10. Orlando is 2 and 8 in their last 10. The Pistons are 5 and 5, so they're hovering. You see what I'm saying? So if we had been just going 5 and 5 in our last 10, we'd be in 5th right now. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we're not that far away, but we're not close either. And we can mitigate this by saying, look, let's go get us a center that can score and rebound because they're out there. What's wrong with rebounding and scoring the ball? Why can't we have somebody who can get 15 points a game? Why? From center position. That can hit an elbow jumper. That can finish at the rim. Who can hit a couple of free throws too if needed. And rebound because they're out there. I talk about them every night on Twitter. Here's what all the centers did last night. I do it every night now. You see what I'm saying? So they're out there. I proved that to y'all. And then again, we need somebody off the bench who can keep the offense flowing when Trey is resting. Can hit you some shots, can pass the ball a couple of times. Just keep it going. Just keep it moving. If we could do that, we could win more games. We could stay in more games. We can come back from more games. If we get down, we lost this game by 5 points, and we lost it in the fourth quarter. And Trae Young didn't give up the most points in this game again. He gave up 8. You had 3 other people give up double digits. 1, 2, actually 4. Actually, 5 other players gave up double digits in this game. Trae gave up 8. So he's the 5th most, how you say that? He gave up the 5th most points in the game on defense. But it's Trae's fault. 18, 16, 15. Wait a minute, that's 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5. 18, 15, 16, 14, and 11. All of those are more than 8 points. That's math. I'm pretty sure about that. So if Trae Young didn't give up the most points on defense, his turnovers didn't hurt us again. Trae Young was responsible for 68 points in this game. He scored 13 points in the fourth quarter. He had 17 points in the game, but we left 21 points in the game off of 8 more passes from Trae. How is any of that Trae's fault? People need to hit their shots. That's what needs to happen. People need to stop shots. That's what needs to happen. People need to get back on defense. We gave up 15 fast break points. That's what needs to happen. We gave up 64 points in the paint. We need to stop that. That's what needs to happen. We need to make a move. If we don't make a move this time, we need to trade Trae then too. I know Jordan don't like me saying that, but we can't keep wasting Trae's career. Because Trae's doing his job. Everybody has a job. I did a show called What's the Point a few months ago, last year. Go look at that on Around the ATL when you get a chance on the YouTube channel. And I talked about everybody has a job. If you're really good at setting the screen, set your screens. Knock people down, but get your man open. If you're really good at the pick and pop, you got to hit that shot on a regular basis. If you're really good at passing the ball, entry pass wise, you got to be able to do that every time at any different angle, right? If you're really good at getting hot off the bench, you got to be able to do that every night, though, right? If you're good at blocking shots, you got to block 2, 3, 4 blocks a game. If you're good at rebounding, we need 15 rebounds out of you. You see what I'm saying? Whatever you're really good at, you got to be good at it on a regular doggone basis. Trae's job is to pass the ball to people. He's the best in the NBA at doing it. And bar none, there ain't nobody who can contest that. And he's been doing it for his whole career. He is the only point guard that's averaging 25 and 10 for his career. There ain't nobody else doing that. Nobody. It's stupendous to think about that sometimes, but there ain't nobody else doing it. And then on top of that, he's 3rd in clutch points, 4th in passes per game at 64, 1st in points per game average per his assist at 28, 1st in potential assists a game at 21, 1st in active players in assists per game, and 3rd all time in NBA history at assists per game. He is 3rd all time in 30-point, 10 assist games now. I think he's already passed Magic in 20 and 10 games. Or 25 in 10 games, I believe. Magic Johnson, the Magic Johnson. When is enough enough? He's doing all of this with the rosters he's been given since 2018. And we're just not going to give him a center that can score? We're just not going to give him a backup point guard so he can rest a little bit? Or we're not going to give him, hey, don't get a backup point guard, but get another guard that can hit shots. That's more consistent than Garrison and more consistent than Bogey right now. One of the two. You got to do it now, right? Or see if you can get the best power forward available to make up for JJ. Again, go get John Collins. He's giving you 18 and 9. Let me pull up John real quick. Here's what John Collins is doing this particular season. I'm gonna go through his whole career real quick for everybody, just because I think sometimes people forget what he's actually done. Okay, so currently this season he's at 18-8, also 2 assists a game, 46% from three, 86% from the free throw line. Okay, that's what he's doing right now. Career 15.9 points with 16 points and 8 rebounds. Okay. But here's what he's done since he's come into the NBA. I'm going to read this off and then I'm going to get off of here because I'm tired. I'm going to go back to sleep. His rookie season, Bud wasn't trying to play him. He had 10 points a game, 7 rebounds on 24 minutes a night. Okay. He only started 26 games that season. His next season at 21 years old, 19.5 points, 9.8 rebounds. 60% from the floor he shot. 34% from three. That was his second season. His third season, 21.6 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, 64% from the floor, 40% from three. I should say 64% from two, by the way. That means he's finishing everything at the basket. But he was shooting 40% from three. The next season, he shot 39% from three, 17 points a game, 7 rebounds. The next season, 16 points a game, 7.8 rebounds. Then the bad season, 13 points a game, 5 rebounds. But we know he was hurt. And we were still trying to make him a three-point shooter. So he shot the worst three-point percentage of his career at 29%. But we wouldn't let him just shoot the jumper inside, though, for some reason. Or the side corner shot that he was so good at, his turnaround. We wouldn't give him the ball down there, down low. We wouldn't do it. But then the next season in Utah, back to 15 points a game. And then now he's at 18. We don't have nobody on our Atlanta Hawks squad until this season, which is Hunter, to score as many points in a season as John Collins. I just think that's just faulty sensibility to be like, he ain't no good. When I can tell you he is. He's shooting 86% from the free throw line, too. So not only if he gets fouled, he's going to hit the free throw, he's hitting 46% from three. Ain't nobody in our team shooting 46% from three. And guess what? We keep shooting threes anyway. Like we're hitting them or something. It's crazy talk. Get John Collins back. He'll help you out. He can help you out right now. So you can either put him at the 5 and have Okongwu coming off the bench at the 5, or put John at the 4 and have Okongwu start, right? And you have Nance come in there to spell John, and Barlow basically will have to spell Okongwu. Because you have to trade Clint to get him at least. Okay. And then there'll be a lot of pressure on Garrison to hit shots all of a sudden for sure, because he'd be the only real backup shooting guard we got all of a sudden. Unless you bring Plowden up, let him have a go at it, right? But again, why not go ahead and get John and Colin Sexton? Because now all of a sudden you got another scorer coming into the on the team. Let's see what Colin is doing. Young bull. Right now, Colin is giving you 18.7 points a game, 47% from the floor, 41% from three. You mean to tell me Colin Sexton wouldn't help us 29 minutes a game? Colin Sexton and John Collins wouldn't help us right now? That would change the tide of our whole landscape of the season, really. Like for real, for real. The only duo that would be better than that is somehow we figured out a way to get Vucevic and Zach LaVine on the team. Can you imagine Vucevic being our center and Zach LaVine coming off the bench for us? That right there puts you in contention of the East again, all of a sudden. Because now you would have Trae Young, Dyson, Zach, right? And whether or not you start Barlow or Mohamed Gay or whoever at the 4, you'd have Vucevic at the 5. And then off the bench, you would have whoever, I guess, Keaton Wallace, Zach LaVine, Hunter, right? And again, whether it be Muhammad or Nance or somebody, and then, excuse me, as your backup to Vucevic. Vucevic and O as centers would really be a big deal, be a huge deal. And then you have whatever reserves you have left at that point. That'd be my best choice. That would be my top choice to do that. Vucevic and Levine. Okay. You can have whoever at backup point guard. You got Levine giving you 25 a night on 50% shooting a night. Easy. So Hunter and Levine on the team coming off the bench. That's your scoring right there. Who cares about nobody else? Whatever you get after that is gravy. And that's what I was looking at for Bogey and Hunter. I thought Bogey and Hunter will give us between 25 and 35 a night off the bench, and everybody else will be gravy. But that hadn't occurred because of Bogey. And then injuries, right? You never can anticipate injuries. But when we were healthy, again, we were beating everybody, right? Now that JJ is gone, you got to replace his production. The best way to do that is get Vucevic. 20 and 10 player, shooting 40% from three. He can hit all the shots. He's not gonna get the ball at the painted dotted line and then give the ball to somebody. He's gonna score. Your whole world changes when you have someone like that. You're in the post, score. You're at the top of the free throw line, score. Not give the ball to somebody and potentially turn it over. Turn around and shoot that sucker, right? Because that's what I would do. I'm gonna just turn around and you can't block it. What are you talking about? Yeah, you see how easy that is? And I might miss it, but then I can go get the rebound too. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't have nobody like that. We don't have nobody that can hit a 17-foot shot, willing to take a 17-foot shot, a mid-range. And I know Jordan keeps saying how, Quinn don't want nobody hitting no mid-range because Trey was deadly at that. And now he's just making him a three-point shooter. I'm like, well, why don't Trey just do it? Like, sometimes, Trey, you just got to be you. Shoot that mid-range. You were killing it in your younger days, right? But now because he's passing the ball so much, the law of that is lost too. But that wouldn't matter if you just had Zach LaVine coming off your bench. Who cares? But Zach, let's see what Zach is doing from three. Zach LaVine is shooting 44% from three, too. So think about that. Think about how our whole team would be different. Trey would be getting 21 assists a game for sure then, wouldn't he? Trae Young would average 21 assists a game because now all of a sudden those shots that we're missing now, we're not missing it all of a sudden. And Trey wouldn't have to score as much. Trey has to score right now. But he wouldn't if we had people who could score around him. Because Trey is trying to pass the ball to everybody all the time. I've been saying that since Summer League 2018 on Around the ATL. That Summer League show, some of you remember it. I said it then. Trae Young is trying to pass the ball enough to get 20 assists a game. He's trying to get 20 assists a game. And here he is. He has 320 assists games just this season. He's leading the league, 21 potential assists a game. We just got to match the player personnel, and he would do it. He would gladly do it because that's what he's doing. He's the only player in NBA history other than, what is it? Is it Nate Archibald? To lead the league in total points and total assists. The only player in history to do it both in college and the NBA. He's passing the ball, folks. Why can't we get him some people who can hit the shot? Why are we so bad? Why are we such a bad franchise that we just can't see that for what it is? That should be pretty simple at this point. So I went 30 minutes over, but hopefully people can just see how just kind of crazy this is at this point, that Luka got traded basically because he can't stay in shape and he won't play defense. And Trey is still here passing the ball to everybody, trying to keep making people better, and we just missing shots. I went through everything in just that Pacers game, guys, but that's almost every game where we're missing shots in the fourth quarter. We're missing shots at the beginning of the game. They're wide open threes. Trey's doing everything he can to get you a wide open shot, and you're missing it, layup, dunks, missing it, layup, dunks. Why can't we just get enough players that can just hit shots on a regular basis? No, I don't need a Hall of Famer. I don't need us to go get Giannis or anything necessarily. I don't need us to go get Steph Curry, the best shooter of all time. Can you imagine how many assists Trey would have if Steph Curry was all our team? Think about he would have 25 assists a game. Literally, he would have 25 assists a game. He's getting 11, 12 now with the rosters that he's been given each season. He's a 25 and 10 player career with the rosters he's been given since 2018. He's never had a center that could hit a jump shot. I take that back. Let me amend that statement. Dedmon could hit a shot from time to time, and Alex Lynn could hit a shot from time to time. But it's Alex Lynn and Dedmon, though. Okay? So let's be real. All right? Sorry. With all due respect, right? Let's be real, though. They're not Porzingis. They're not Joker. Can you imagine if Trae Young played with Joker? How many assists he would have every night? It would be nasty, wouldn't it? I just need somebody to hit a 15-foot shot. I just need somebody that could do that. Okay, at the center position for Trae Young. And we need somebody who's just more consistent as a shooter now. Okay, if it's not going to be Hunter, okay, fine, that's cool. But Hunter has his nights, you know. I gave you his last 8 games, right, from 3. It's not great, right? Garrison, he has his times, but most of the time he's not really consistent either. And again, all he does is shoot threes. That's all he can do, right? But again, his other thing is how many points he gives up on defense sometimes per the minutes that he plays. It's dangerous for him to be out there too long because he's going to give up some points, okay? So we need to have somebody as a guard to hit some shots. So whether it be Levine or Colin Sexton or Brogdon even. Brogdon would be a good backup point guard for us. A veteran, knows what he's doing. Hit a shot, pass the ball, rebound as well. That would help us get through those moments of just nothing going on. We're just stuck out here until Trey comes back. Our offensive efficiency goes down so low when Trey comes off the floor. We need something to mitigate that, right? And if you don't have a center that you could just get the ball down low sometimes and get it easy too. Like, why can't we even do that? Like, when you give Sabonis the ball, that's 2 points. It's 2 points. You give Miles Turner the ball, it's 2 points. We don't got nobody we can go to. That ain't cool. Why is that cool to anybody anymore? It shouldn't be. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. And now Kyrie Irving got Anthony Davis. That's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Make sure, let's do this again. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio page. It's been scrolling the whole show. Make sure you check us out on Twitch. Again, IMTN Worldwide Radio. We are on Facebook and Instagram, IMTN Worldwide Radio. Don't forget, we are on Sports Visions 92.1 FM. I don't have that on here for some reason. Oh, yes, I do. There it is. Sports Visions 92.1 FM every week, Thursday, 7 p.m. And you can go to the TuneIn app to listen to that. The station is on there. So this Thursday, we will have a new show at 7 o'clock. So definitely be looking out for that. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. It's been a long morning already. It's crazy that Luka has been traded like that to the Lakers of all teams. I just didn't see that coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. We'll see how it pans out over a period of time. But I just want the Hawks to just do right by Trae Young at this point. You just can't keep wasting him as a generational talent because that's what he is. He is a generational talent at the point guard position that nobody else has done anything close to what he has done. You look at his first 6 years as an NBA player, and again, better than Steve Nash. Go look and see. I've done a show about it, but you go look on around the ATL to go look at that show too. But look at the first 6 seasons of some of those other Hall of Fame point guards. I'm sorry. None of them did what Trae Young is doing right now. He's a 25-10 career player being wasted right now for no reason. So if the Hawks refuse to do anything again this trade deadline, Trae should ask for a trade. Maybe Trae should go to the Lakers and play with LeBron James and Luka. I don't know. Maybe he should go to Dallas. Maybe he should go to Dallas and go play with Kyrie and them. You see what I'm saying? Like, where else could he go? He can go to OKC. OKC will welcome him with open arms, wouldn't they? But he wants to win a championship in Atlanta. I'm being facetious a little bit, but again, I don't like to see players just get wasted decade after decade. Remember, the Portland Trailblazers let Dame languish in agony and didn't do anything for him over there. The Knicks didn't do anything for Carmelo Anthony. They had one winning season with Carmelo. They were losing 45, 50 games a year with Carmelo Anthony, one of the best scorers of all time. Didn't care. Right? Just think about that. Think about all the Hall of Famers that didn't get a ring because their teams just didn't do enough. Now, sometimes they did and they just got beat. Sometimes the other team was better, right? The Pacers almost won a ring, but they just weren't good enough, right? Think about that. And other teams that have gone to the championship. Again, Utah Jazz had to play Mike twice, and they didn't beat him. But they were there. They had a shot, right? But the Utah Jazz just couldn't get over the hump. But they had a team. They were a talent-laden team. Two of the best players in NBA history on the same team, Stockton and Malone. That was the pair. When is Trae Young going to get his Malone, though? Right? Thought it might be John. Didn't quite work out. But it was still a viable pairing. Just give him some other help in there to help compete. Fill those holes. Again, a lot of that was Hunter as a starter just wasn't really there, right? But off the bench, shoot, bring John back and have Hunter coming off the bench. That's a different team all of a sudden, right? We need to quit wasting Trae Young as a player, though, as a Hawks organization. And until they do something, they're proving that they're not trying to win a championship. They're not even trying to get to the playoffs. Like, that's crazy to me right now. Luka got traded first. Are we trying to do anything to help Trae out as the best passer in the NBA, bar none? What are we going to do? So it's February 2nd. Clock is ticking. We're going to see. We're going to find out. Till next time, guys, make sure, again, subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio page. Keep up with us. The next episode of Around the ATL on Sports Visions 92.1 FM will be this Thursday, 7 o'clock, so tune in there. Of course, if you subscribe, you can get to watch the live version. And we're probably doing a 2-hour version of the show pretty soon. As soon as I know, I will post up the schedule, and y'all will check it out. Until next time, y'all take care and have a good Sunday. Peace.
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect, around the ATL.